Welcome to my kitchen. This is the Rose Witchcraft channel. I'm Madeline Rose, and this is Jared, the baking bro.
What's up?
Happy Lammas, everybody. We're gonna make some bread today.
It's gonna be good.
So, I'm not a huge fan of baking normally. I've kind of got the hang of bread, but anything more complicated than that is a little bit too difficult. So,
luckily, I'm like a, advanced to intermediate baker. I'd say made a sourdough or two.
You worked at a bakery.
Made a lot of granola, but there was some sourdough. Yeah.
Well, we're not making sourdough today. We're just making a plain white artisan loaf. So what do we start with? We need to get some warm water, right?
Yeah, we're gonna bloom the yeast.
So half a cup of warm water. And then we add the yeast, right?
Yeah. And honey. Because the honey is the sugar that the yeast is going to eat. Then I usually like to let the yeast sit for like 10-15 minutes. Just so that it'll we know it's doing stuff.
It'll start bubbling. Bubbling. So now the yeast is doing things.
Getting all bubbly and doing its work.
So it's definitely been 30 minutes and not several hours. Just kidding.
It probably would have needed more than 30 minutes anyway, so
It's been an
appropriate amount of time. Oh wow.
We should have used a bigger bowl. Look at it. It's like a mushroom.
Maybe like muffin top,
Oh my god, this is me after quarantine. Okay.
Okay, wait.
Wait!
Just a little more flour. There we go. Oh.
Oh my.
Okay.
That is some dough.
Boom. Okay, so I'm gonna just do her into thirds. I think it's good.
Oh, it's so little and cute.
Yeah.
So then do we let it rise more after it's been cut into the...
Yeah. Because now that we've kind of gotten that good gluten development, now we can just kind of get her into shape. And now we'll kind of let it rise into the shape that we want. We should put it onto a baking sheet though.
Oh. I took off my apron. Why did I do that?
That's what I'm doing.
Flouring the pans so that it doesn't stick too much. If I want to cut a shape into the top of it, should I do it now or later?
I would do it later, because otherwise the shape will split apart as it rises. And it will kind of do that as it bakes when you cut it. But doing it, because it's you just want it to kind of be in the crust, right? You don't want it to be a cut that's going down the center.
I want it to have a pentagram on it.
Yeah, so I think we should wait.
Okay.
For some more rising.
There is a house that's not long enough in New Orleans.
Or
they call the rising sun.
what? Just. Oh.
What are you doing?
Lay it.
Oh.
Then this can stay the floury.
Whoa.
Geometry.
Geometry is just math.
But with shapes.
Okay. Do you know why we're baking bread on Lammas?
You know, bread's awesome. And you know, the wheel turns, harvest, all those good things.
Because the first harvest was primarily a grain harvest, and that was key to sustain the Celtic people throughout the winter. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you die, as I mentioned earlier when we were baking.
Yeah, you need the bread or you're gonna die. Food's important.
It was also, like, before it was called Lammas, it was called Lughnasadh, and that was because there's two competing schools of thought about that. But the one that I like is people saying that was Lug's wedding day, and also therefore the day that he, like, secured his kingship.
Oh. Because I know it was like Lug's day or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, it was Lug's wedding day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his coronation. Yes. Lugh of the Long Arm.
Yeah. He's got a lot going on, right? Like,
yeah.
All the things. He's like
described as the god of many skills, or like all the skills.
Right, because he's not really like a warrior guy or like a...
No, he is. That's why he's called the Long Arm, because of his long spear in battle.
But it's not like that's his only thing.
No, that's not his only thing.
He's not like a typical man charge into battle, Ares kind of god.
No, he is more balanced than that. And he does a lot of crafts, and he does poetry too.
Oh, that's nice.
He's dreamy. Get you a man that can do all three. So, yes, the first harvest was often the grain harvest. However, most modern people aren't growing grains unless you're a farmer. We don't. But we can still celebrate the first harvest, and we reaped a lot of stuff from the garden.
Yeah.
So we got basil, jalapenos. So a lot of herbs are harvestable throughout the summer, but of course I harvested a bunch right now. Greens are also harvestable throughout the summer generally. And yeah. My actual first harvest, the literal first thing that I harvested this year was not wheat, not barley, not jalapenos. It was dandelions.
Oh.
Yeah.
Some people might call dandelions a bit of a weed, but how do you feel about that?
There's no such thing as weeds.
I know. Everything has a place.
Do you want to know what I did with the dandelions?
What did you do with the dandelions? What can you even make with that? Like, I've heard salads, or, sometimes you can do the roots for something. I don't know.
Yeah, the roots and the leaves can be made into medicinal tea, or the roots can serve as like a coffee substitute. Oh. But I did make salads, and I do have some tea dried as well, but I primarily made wine.
Oh, look at that.
Pagans love to drink.
Yeah. These are facts. So how did you go about making this year dandelion wine?
Great question. First, I went into the backyard and picked a shit ton of dandelion blossoms. Then I sat down and painstakingly removed all of the petals from the green part where they grow out of, because the green part is bitter. And then, as you can see, some of them are still floating in here. I didn't rack this though. That was John. That was my fiance, everyone, who racked it, so that's... He would be the mead bro.
When I think about the holiday, it's around the first stuff that's ready after the summer and stuff that will last for a longer time.
Yeah.
So that's why we're making bread. You can kind of throw it in your cellar for a few weeks. Same reason why you would be making alcoholic beverages and things, because you probably have stuff kicking around during harvest. That's where you seem to you have more stuff than you even need. Mm-hmm. But maybe...
That's why you feast.
Yeah.
Because you have abundance. You share.
Oh, and it's kind of interesting compared to our world now, where you've always got the stuff all the time, but falling back into that more natural rhythm of no, this is the time of year when we eat these things, because that's when the world makes them abundant to us.
That's when they're available.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll stop ranting.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks.
Real-time reaction. What do you think?
I'm liking it.
It's really sweet, and it's really strong. Like, I don't have the thing that tells you how much alcohol, but it's a lot. It's high.
It's not like, whoa, strong, but like, for wine, it's like, okay.
So yeah, you separate out all the petals and you literally, it's so easy. I think I posted the recipe on my Instagram actually when I was picking the petals. I made a reel, and in the description of the reel is the recipe that I used to make that wine.
Right on. I'll check it out.
We used champagne yeast, sugar, dandelions. We put some extra spices in there because it's just how we roll. Yeah. Water, obviously.
Yeah.
You need to have like distilled water because you're putting yeast in it. But the reason why Lughnasadh was celebrated as Lug's marriage was because in ancient Ireland, marriages were, like kingdoms were secured through marriages. And the land, in a lot of cases, belonged to the women. And so if you wanted to be like the chieftain of the land, you had to make that woman like want to marry you.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So Lug was like, I can do everything. Also, I'm hot and tall. So like, I should be the king and we should get married. And she was like, okay.
You're like, sure.
So, he hath risen.
Ta-da! Flour everywhere.
We're going to put them in the oven now. The oven is at
450.
450. Bake for 30 minutes.
Did you want to carve the pentagram into the oven?
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot. Uh-oh.
That's why I was like, I'm not sure if oiling the knife helps or if like putting flour on it helps.
That's how I should have done it. Just like lines, right? Because it's all
Yeah.
straight lines. Boom, boom, boom.
Pentacle bread.
Let's see how it's going to look at the end. I shouldn't be trying to do this. It's going to be cute, I think, when it bakes, maybe. Oh yeah, we were going to do this too, right? Oops. Footage of my knife skills.
I'm impressed.
Thank you.
I will trust myself to chop things that quickly.
I have a lot of experience. Line cook mode right now because I'm very caffeinated and I'm like lightly drunk, which is when you do your best work as a line cook, I find. Great.
Beautiful.
Uh-oh.
Dun, dun.
It's a very high quality baking sheet, as you can tell.
Yes.
It doesn't work in the oven at all.
Yeah. Oh, you can kind of see the star still.
Gorge. And the normie loaf. And the nub baby loaf.
I don't know.
Which of you will be the first to the chopping block? I say pentagram.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Mm.
Oh my god, it's hot.
Yeah?
Fun fact, when you put things in the oven, it makes them hot.
Oh,